The Lagena brothers and their team are working on a small island off Nova Scotia's southern coast to find hidden treasures. The island is thought to hold valuable items left by different historical figures over time, and the TV show, The Curse of Oak Island, follows every detail of their search. The team often meets in the war room, where they are always excited and ready to dive into any new leads. However, they haven't found much yet. Just a few ancient Roman coins and a lead cross that could be linked to the Knights Templar. This cross discovery has led them to do a more careful, archaeology-focused excavation to check for more similar items. A spooky twist to their search is the legend of a curse that claims 7 people must die before the treasure can be discovered. So far, 6 deaths have been linked to this hunt, a dark fact that hangs over their efforts. Still, the team keeps going, hoping they won't end up as part of this frightening statistic. Every step forward just brings up more questions. Now they're thinking about building a big steel dam to dig deeper, which means they need to bring in more heavy equipment and spend more money. They've hired a crew to build a large crane pad, but by a strange twist of fate, it ended up right where they want to dig next. This mistake shows how their enthusiasm sometimes gets ahead of their planning. As time goes on, they find very little. Every small discovery is celebrated and closely examined for any importance, but these moments usually lead to more guesses rather than clear answers. The TV show thrives on this cycle, keeping viewers hooked with the promise of big discoveries that always seem just out of reach. As another day starts on the island, the team faces the upcoming challenges with determination and a realization that setbacks are likely. But the possibility of what might be buried underground, the stories, the history, and potential treasure is enough to keep them coming back, shovels in hand, ready to dig again at a spot where old drainage systems once converged on their way to what is known as the original money pit. As they dig deeper, the team faces big problems that really test their determination and stretch their resources. The crane pad sitting right over an important spot was a major headache, not just because it was in the way physically, but also because of all the red tape involved in moving it. Working alongside the Irving equipment operators was crucial, but moving the crane, the largest piece of equipment, was a logistical challenge in itself. In conclusion, the Lagena brothers and their team are determined to find hidden treasures on Oak Island, despite facing numerous failures and setbacks. Their unwavering commitment to the search and their dedication to their mission make them a force to be reckoned with in the world of treasure hunting. The team of Rick, Marty, and Dave Blankenship embarked on a mission to uncover the hidden treasures of Smith's Cove, an area of significant interest. They faced numerous obstacles, including the crane pad dilemma, regulatory compliance, and logistical challenges. They planned meticulously in the war room and visited Smith's Cove to consult with Billy, an experienced archaeologist. Laird Niven recommended they first try to reach the slipway with their equipment, which would allow them to carefully clear and inspect the area. With some water drained away, the team gained access to previously unreachable parts of Smith's Cove, revealing a concrete wall, a stone box drain, and the remains of an old wharf or slipway that treasure hunter Gilbert Heaton first discovered back in 1836. A metal detector indicated there were metal objects beneath the surface, leading to the discovery of what seemed to be a spear tip or other type of ancient weapon, similar to findings from the southern part of the island. This suggested they were very close to the original money pit, an area of significant interest. The team's quest involved navigating through paperwork and securing permits, as well as digging through layers of history. The possibility that ancient Romans might have reached the New World long before Christopher Columbus was particularly captivating for the team. The potential Roman spear point they discovered hinted at the site's ancient origins and raised the exciting possibility of uncovering more valuable items rumored to be hidden in what they referred to as the original money pit. As a mysterious island in the Americas has been the subject of numerous discoveries and stories that could potentially change our understanding of history. The idea that the Roman Empire or the Knights Templar had connections to the island challenges the widely accepted story that Christopher Columbus and his group were the first from Europe to set foot in the Americas. Discoveries like the Roman sword and the lead cross are crucial clues that could significantly change historical narratives. However, Until the treasure is discovered and its origins confirmed, it remains uncertain whether these artifacts belong to the ancient Romans or the Knights Templar. Finding a cross suggests there might be multiple treasures on Oak Island, possibly left by different people throughout history. The Lagena brothers and their crew from The Curse of Oak Island are now tasked with possibly changing our view of world history. Rick and Marty, who have been fascinated by the idea of finding treasure since they were kids in Michigan, have been there for over a decade now, searching high and low for treasure. They also star in a TV series that showcases their efforts, drilling and digging around the island to see what things it might hold. Their significant operations included draining a swamp. Finally, Dumont's construction can advance the garden shaft's deepening. The subsequent course of action for the group, following the confirmation, is to accelerate their observation and analysis of specific marked areas prior to the major operation impeding their research. Gary Drayton and Peter Fornetti, the team's metal detector specialists, are similarly engrossed in their investigation along the shoreline. In this episode, the focus of the duo's investigation is the shoreline of Lot 5. Their objective is to discover indicators that serve as clues to the presence of iron historical artifacts, metal materials, or other concealed treasures. Potential regions were delineated using flags, and the archaeologist's focal point, the location where ships rested, was also identified. Surprisingly, additional indications of activity have been discovered, given that the Oak Island treasure has been the subject of exploration and public examination by numerous interested parties since its disclosure in 1795. Additionally, some inexplicable activities, such as the clandestine burying of treasures by multiple individuals, including lead barter tokens, 2,000-year-old Roman coins, and Smith's Coven lead cross, may be linked to such activities. Evidently, a granite slab was erected in the exact center of Lot 5 with the intention of enclosing and sealing something beneath the surface. Additionally, in close proximity to the shoreline of the park, one may encounter a circular depression region originating in the late 1600s that bears resemblance to the garden shaft. The metal detector specialists made the decision to investigate the regions delineated by the flag, and their apparatus validated the precision of their assessment. Metal was detectably present beneath the surface of the ground. Following meticulous excavation, a cribbing spike was discovered and determined to have been utilized in the majority of the island's construction. An additional identified location yielded the handle of a snipping instrument, which was traced back to the 1970 discovery of hand-forged iron scissors of Spanish origin by Dan Blankenship. Comparatively speaking, this snipping utility appears to be accurate. For scanning, both artifacts were placed in bags. Approximately 50 years from the shore, the team's archaeologists were diligently excavating the rectangular depression, which is presumed to be associated with the garden shaft. Helen asserts that the rectangular depression is exceedingly uncommon, and this marks her inaugural attempt at addressing one in her extensive professional experience. The distinctive characteristic is that the foundation was buried so deeply that it appeared to be an intentional concealment designed to evade detection. It appears that something occurred on Lot 5, and every effort was made to conceal any evidence of it. Revealing the enigma requires meticulous excavation. Jack offered his assistance in the sifting of the excavated soil from the depression. An additional cream pottery item, the largest thus far discovered, was attributed to Jamie. It is conceivable that the entirety of the discovered items could constitute a creamware ensemble. The operation to drill 100 feet into the Money Pit region continued for a number of hours. Nevertheless, an additional pivotal revelation was unveiled in D5N27. Alongside the tunnel, timber shaft evidence suggests the existence of an additional structure that extends in an easterly direction. It appears that the wood at the newly discovered tunnel is more robust, healthier, and in closer proximity to the surface than the wood that was initially sought after for the tunnel. 101 to 95 feet into the drilling process, the drilling machine drew in an additional object. This time, a substantial mass of moist soil containing scattered materials in addition to wood confirmed the existence of a second tunnel to the east of the garden shaft. The team would have made additional discoveries. Nevertheless, their borrowed Oak Island, located off the southern coast of Nova Scotia, has been a site for one of history's most enduring mysteries. A recent discovery by a treasure hunting team has sparked new theories, clues that could point to the treasure or perhaps reveal an even greater secret hidden beneath the surface. Samuel Ball, born in 1761 on a rice plantation near Charleston, South Carolina, faced unimaginable hardships during his life. In 1776, General Sir Henry Clinton issued a proclamation promising freedom to enslaved individuals who escaped rebel owners and joined the British. Samuel Ball was one of 50 enslaved people who seized this chance, leaving the Ball plantation behind to cross into British lines. After serving in South Carolina with the British Army, Samuel Ball found himself heading north to New York, where he joined the Loyal Refugee Volunteers, a unit known for daring raids and bold moves. During wartime, Samuel learned survival tactics and picked up skills that would later help him navigate the tricky world of money and business. Despite early British victories, the war took a sharp turn in 1781, pushing Samuel Ball, along with countless others loyal to Britain, to make a life-changing decision. He fled to British-occupied Canada, where the Crown had promised freedom, goods, and land to enslaved black individuals in exchange for their loyalty. This led to a wave of migration, with nearly 5,000 black loyalists arriving in Nova Scotia, forming 52 historic black communities. By 1787, Samuel Ball purchased a 4-acre lot on Oak Island, Lot 25, for £8, which was thousands of dollars in today's terms. It wasn't a fortune, but for the time, it was a decent sum, especially for someone starting fresh. Some think his decision might have had something to do with his neighbor, Captain James Anderson, who owned the adjoining Lot 26. Captain James Anderson, born in Maryland, grew up to become a pirate and privateer. During the American Revolution, he initially pledged his loyalty to the United States, but then defected to the British. Thomas Jefferson, then Virginia governor and future president, slapped Anderson with charges of high treason and piracy. With the heat on him, Anderson fled to Canada and eventually landed on Oak Island, buying Lot 26. After Anderson left, Samuel Ball bought his lot and began building an impressive property portfolio. Starting as a cabbage farmer, Samuel turned his 4 acres into something far bigger. By 1789, he even purchased nearby Hook Island for £6, a hefty sum for the time. Some historians suggest that the British government's policy of awarding contracts to freed black settlers to supply goods to the military may have played a role in this real estate spree. For the British Navy, cabbage was a lifesaver, as they used cabbage to produce sauerkraut, a vital source of vitamin C that helped sailors fight off scurvy on long voyages. However, the cabbage market had its bust when the Navy eventually shifted to using limes for vitamin C, leaving the cabbage market high and dry. Despite this, Samuel's wealth continued to grow. In 1795, 3 young men discovered the enduring mystery of the money pit on Lot 18 on Oak Island.